Okay, before we really get started today, just a quick shout out to our sponsor. This deep dive is brought to you by ProCare Hanoi. They're the phone and laptop repair shop that a lot of expats here really trust. You know, when your tech acts up, you just want things sorted fast, clear communication, honest advice. ProCare Hanoi really gets that. They deliver. And speaking of support, this whole thing is definitely a labor of love for me. So if you find value in what we explore here, I'd honestly be so grateful for your support. Buy me a coffee is just a super simple way to say thanks. And trust me, every bit helps keep this going. Just scan the QR code in the cover art. And hey, huge thanks to everyone who's already chipped in. You're really fueling this. Right then, let's turn to today's sources. We're diving into mindful communication, specifically this idea of listening beyond words. It sounds simple, but well,
It's really not, is it? Especially now. I mean, we're talking all the time, sending messages, emails, you name it. But the sources really hone in on this gap, like how much actual listening is happening.
exactly. The default seems to be, listening just enough to figure out what we're going to say next, not really listening to, well, understand the other person.
Yeah, it's like we're just queuing up our response, not absorbing.
So the mission for you, our listener today, is, I guess, to pull out the key ideas here. How do we take just regular conversation, the everyday stuff, and make it, well, more meaningful, more about connection?
Moving it from just an exchange, like a transaction, to something that actually builds understanding. It's about presence, really.
Okay, let's start with part one. This idea of deep listening as something almost radical. What struck me first was this point about misunderstandings. The sources claim most aren't about the words themselves. It's about what doesn't get heard, the things underneath.
Because we're always filtering, aren't we? If you go into a conversation already judging, maybe you've decided this person always complains or their idea is probably bad. You're basically just scanning for evidence to prove yourself right. You hear what fits your theory.
Right, you put on these heavy filters and you miss, well, everything else, the nuance.
Totally. But the flip side, the sources say, is when you listen with presence instead of judgment. The payoff is huge. The other person feels genuinely seen.
Seen, not necessarily agreed with, but acknowledged.
Exactly. It's a kind of basic validation. Recognizing their experience matters.
That brings us to deep listening, right? Often linked with fish nut hunt. So what does that actually look like in practice, this deep listening?
Well, the core idea, and it feels a bit counterintuitive, is offering space, not advice. We're so wired to fix things, Someone shares a problem, we jump in with solutions.
Yeah, that's the default helpful mode.
But this approach says the real relief, the real help, often comes just from providing that quiet, non-judgmental space, letting them talk it out, feel heard, without you trying to direct or solve immediately.
Okay, but I can see a challenge. Say at work, someone brings you a problem, they might actually want advice, right? How do you balance that?
That's a fair point. The sources suggest it's about sequence. Even in a professional context, start with space. Listen fully first, let them get it all out. Often, just having that room to articulate, they start to clarify it for themselves. They might even pivot from "I'm stuck" to "okay, maybe I should try this."
So the listening itself helps them find the path.
It facilitates their own internal shift. Your attentive presence makes that possible.
Taking that further, the sources make this quite bold claim. Giving someone your full attention. That's like the modern form of kindness. Equating attention with love, almost.
Think about it, though. Attention is so scarce now, isn't it? We're pulled in a million directions. So when you consciously decide, okay, I'm putting my phone down, I'm tuning out my mental to-do list, I'm just here with you, that's a real offering. It costs you something, that resource of focus.
And that sacrifice, that focused presence signals value. You matter right now.
Precisely. It's a powerful validation.
Okay, this totally reframes simple interactions. Let's get practical then. Part two, the practice of listening with awareness. Because knowing is one thing, doing is another.
Right. And the first exercise the sources suggest is tough. It's actively trying not to prepare your response while someone else is talking. Our brains are wired to do that, to anticipate, formulate, rebut.
So you have to consciously interrupt that internal monologue.
Yes. Shut down the reply generator for a moment.
And what happens then? Where does that mental energy go?
It frees you up to actually receive. You start noticing more than just the words. Their tone of voice, the pace they're speaking at, the hesitations, the silences. You get the full picture, not just the transcript.
You mentioned decoding the unspoken. What layers are we trying to hear?
We're listening for the feeling underneath the words, and maybe the story behind the feeling. Someone says, "I'm fine," but they sound tense, their shoulders are tight.
The words say one thing, the body says another.
Exactly. The fine is the surface. The tension is the feeling. And behind that tension, maybe there's a story about feeling overwhelmed or unheard. Listening deeply means trying to sense those layers. Word, feeling, story.
But that can be uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
What if they're expressing anger or frustration? Or what if their words trigger something in you? How does the breath help anchor us, like the sources suggest?
The breath. It's like your physiological anchor to right now. When strong emotions come up, yours or theirs, body tenses, you go into that fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
And receptive listening just shuts down then.
Right, you become reactive.
Totally. But just noticing your breath, the simple in and out,
Yeah.
it sends a signal to your nervous system. It's okay, you're safe. It helps you stay present with the emotion rather than getting swept away by it or needing to immediately push back.
So you're not trying to suppress the feeling, just observe it without reacting instantly.
Exactly. The goal isn't to fix the situation right then or win the point. It's simply to understand. That's the whole game.
Just understanding, even when it's difficult.
Especially when it's difficult. That commitment to understanding is the mindful part.
That makes sense. Okay, so we've listened deeply. Now let's flip it. How do we speak mindfully? Part 3, speaking through the 3 gates of compassion.
Yeah, this is a really practical, ancient framework. Comes from Buddhist teachings, essentially. It's a filter. Before you say something, you pause, maybe take that conscious breath again, and ask yourself 3 questions about what you're planning to say.
Gate 1, is it true?
Gate 2, is it kind?
And gate 3, is it necessary?
Right. And the discipline is, if it doesn't pass through all 3 gates, you hold back. You don't say it.
That sounds really difficult in practice, especially the kind part sometimes. Like, what if you need to give tough feedback at work? It's true, maybe it's necessary for improvement, but it might not feel very kind in the moment.
That's the core tension, isn't it? It forces you to be skillful. It's not enough for something to be factually correct. You have to find a way to frame that truth kindly, respectfully. If you can't deliver truth with kindness, the framework suggests maybe the timing isn't right, or your approach needs rethinking.
So it's about how you say it as much as what you say, and if it truly needs saying right now.
Precisely. It elevates truth beyond just bluntness. It requires compassion. The aim is for your words to build up, not tear down.
You mentioned cultural reflections of this, the Vietnamese saying.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Lo noi chang mati mua, lui loima noi cho fo lo niao.
Which translates roughly as...
Something like, words don't cost money to buy, so choose your words carefully to bring peace and satisfaction to each other.
Words are free, but their impact isn't. Choose wisely.
It really captures that sense of speech as a responsibility, an investment in the relationship.
And sometimes, the sources point out, the most mindful communication is actually silence.
Yes. When adding words would just cause more pain or add to confusion, when it fails that necessary gate. Choosing silence can be an act of kindness, acknowledging that maybe presence is all that's needed right now.
Okay, so how do we bring all this, the deep listening, the mindful speaking, into, real life, the messy day-to-day? Let's get into part 4, real-world application.
The key thing the sources stress is universality. This isn't just for therapy sessions or meditation retreats. It applies when you're talking to your kid, your partner, negotiating a deal, dealing with a customer complaint.
The principles stay the same, even if the context changes.
Exactly. Think about any service situation, really. People often come in stressed or frustrated.
Like tech support, or customer service, or even repairs.
Right. Take the example of a place like ProCare Hanoi, our sponsor. Someone brings in a broken phone or laptop. They're probably worried, maybe annoyed about the disruption.
Yeah, it throws your whole day off sometimes.
So a mindful approach there isn't just about diagnosing the technical issue. It's about first listening to the person's frustration, their story, hearing them out fully, then responding with clear, honest information about the repair, the options, the timing, with patience.
So that careful listening, combined with the honest, kind, and necessary information that builds trust.
It does. It turns what could be just a transaction, fix my thing, into something more relational. It builds that bridge of understanding the sources talk about, even in a seemingly ordinary conversation.
One mindful exchange at a time.
Yep.
Okay, so for you listening, what can you try, like right away? We've got 2 core takeaways.
First, simple practice. Before you speak, especially if it's a response, just pause. Take 1 full breath. Use it to interrupt that automatic reply machine.
Just 1 breath, and second.
Before you react, particularly to something that feels challenging or emotional, try to listen for just 1 second longer than you normally would.
1 extra second.
That tiny delay can be enough to stop a knee-jerk reaction and let that more thoughtful, understanding part of you catch up.
It's about creating a tiny bit of space.
Exactly. Presence and kindness. The sources really emphasize that true communication isn't about who talks loudest or fastest. It's about the quality of your attention and your intention.
Presence and kindness. That really sums it up. Thank you for exploring all this with us.
My pleasure. And maybe a final thought for you to mull over. If attention really is a form of love or deep care, what's one small conversation you'll have today? Maybe with the person making your coffee, a quick chat with a colleague, checking in with your family. How could you transform that tiny interaction just by committing to 1 extra second of truly listening? What might change?
Something to think about. Thanks, everyone.